Hello, and welcome back to Business with Smith Co. Hello, and welcome back to Business with Smith Co. Today we're going to be looking at something along the lines of kind of like semi-state bodies and privatisation. So, semi-state bodies are semi-state owned, like they're state-owned enterprises that are, on a technical basis, commercially run. Now, this benefits the government, but sometimes, it doesn't mean that they're like, oh no, it cost us 10 quid for this service. This will only cost you 10 quid. They're commercially run, but they do benefit the state. So, it's kind of a similar thing. I guess it's better because, obviously, you could argue, well, at least, if you're not being taxed as much, it's beneficial, I guess. If money's going towards your government, but it's because, it's more like, you're not being taxed, but it's more over there. But of course, you could argue, well, isn't the same thing. Your government is only going to be, it's still going to be the exact same thing it is. So I guess you could say there are benefits and there are obviously things that are more annoying. Anyway, so there's also privatization of semi-state bodies. So privatization is the selling off of semi-state or state-owned companies to actual private investors. So this can be a big problem because you see, there's one thing, like let's say I'm in a country and I run a service which benefits the government, so any money, any profits made will go back into the government and they'll build things like roads, schools, hospitals, all sorts of things. And some countries will also overpay their cabinet ministers and other ministers and all these sorts of things as well. But the main thing is they're gonna provide services. But if a state sells off that business, suddenly that business's profits won't go to hospitals and schools and all sorts of things like that. Instead of that, it'll go into the pockets of people who do not supply those services. And in some cases, those people will not even spend any money in that country. And now that'll mean, obviously, though, I should mention the fact that if your country is importing and exporting with that country on a large basis, then it tends to balance itself out. But if not, then that person's actually taking that money out. And the same thing with multinationals. Multinationals are coming to a country, they make their profits, and they're mostly, obviously, they pay people, but most of their profits go back to the main country. So there you have your situation when it comes to privatization. Now, you also have nationalism. So nationalism is when a privately run business is taken over and run by the state. Now, this is sometimes done, for example, when, you've got bailouts. Like airlines are bailed out sometimes, banks are often bailed out, all these things. And the government provides financial aid so that the business doesn't collapse, which can obviously be problematic because it's a private business. It's not the postal service. It's not, a hospital. It's not any of these things where they're in danger of collapsing. This is not a service which is free. This is not a service provided by the government. It's a service, which is, problematic to sort of just let that be the case, where you just go, oh yeah, we're gonna let that be the case. That becomes a small little incy-wincy problem. Because, well, if you have a system, if you have a situation in which you are selling things to people and then suddenly you are in need of financial aid being bailed out, is obviously great for you. But the problem is, well, why should you be? But then governments can use this sort of bailout method to just nationalise business, which means that this now becomes the same-state organisation. So there you have same-state organisations. Now, obviously, this video is a short one, so apologies about that. Apologies about that once again, and hopefully we will see you next time. And hopefully you'll watch our other videos and subscribe to our channel. Other videos tend to be better, by the way. Just saying. You may find the worst videos on the channel. I think that's the stuff that we've got here. But we do have better stuff than this. See you next time, hopefully. If not, I guess we'll say bye-bye to you on a permanent basis.